great catastrophe looms over the mortal realms. The forces of the Grand Alliances wage relentless war, each seeking to seize mysterious regions and unravel the power hidden within them. Now, beneath moonlit skies and among the shattered remnants of a forgotten age, battle erupts in the haunted corridors of the Veilgate Ruins. The Idoneth Deepkin rise from the mists, drawn by the arcane resonance of the crumbling archways. At their head glides an Eidolon of the sea, its presence heralding a tide of Varanguard, darting alopexes, and a looming Leviadon. They seek to claim the secrets buried beneath the dust, paths through the ether that could allow them to strike where none expect. But from the north, a thunder of steel and sharp blades marches to meet them. Abraxia, champion of the dark gods, leads a fearsome host of slaves to darkness. A disciplined chaos warrior phalanx, an elite unit of Varanguard, and a ravenous tide of dark oath marauders. They are here not only to claim the power of the Veilgate, but to crush those who would dare challenge their path to domination. In today's matched play battle, our generals fight not only for victory, but for the glory of their grand alliances. The results will shape the campaign's course, and when the final battles are fought, the powers claimed in places like this may determine the fate of the realms. Earlier this week, battle was met on the Emberwash Isle, as Kragnos led the Gloomspite Gits to war against Kairos, and the trickery of the disciples of Tzeentch. To watch that match, and every battle in the campaign, consider joining our channel membership. Your support is invaluable in helping us to continue making and improving our battle reports. Now that you know the stakes, let's head to the battlefield for this chapter in the Season of War.
This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and our FLGS partner, Warpfire Minis. Today's battle showcases beautiful thematic dice from Baron of Dice. Grab your own or get a custom set made at baronofdice.com.
All right, Mike, we've got a vicious battle ahead of ourselves today. Fighting for the Veilgate Ruins, if you're following our campaign that we have going on. In addition to, obviously, the normal games, each match counts for a little bit extra right now for these 8 weeks. And at the end, we're to have a little playoff to find out which Grand Alliance is on top.
Well, I hope I do order proud today. We're behind a little bit, but we're still in it.
Yes, sir. And do you then actually want to start off by taking us through your list?
Absolutely. So I took a very, very simple list today. I've got Idoneth Deepkin, and we're going with the Kellyan Beastmasters for my sub-faction. I have 2 regiments, so it's 2 drops. One of them is being led by the Eidolon of the Storm, so the non-caster. With him, he has 2 minimum units of Ishleyan Guard and a Leviadon. My second regiment is led by Lotan. He has 2 Alopexes with him, and also has a unit of 6 Morsar Guard. So I've got a big unit of offensive eels, 2 small units of defensive eels, and no wizards notably. Both my enhancements are on my Eidolon of the Storm. So he has the armor of Sathai, which gives him immunity to crits and weapon abilities of the like. He also has Ancient Pride, so he can't be hit on a 2 or a 3. So I'm hoping to have a much more simpler game plan this time around, and I think it's going to be pretty messy in the middle again. So
yeah, it could be a vicious one here, as we said earlier. I'm going to be playing the Slaves of Darkness, actually as voted on and chosen by our channel members. So I had to bring out Abraxia because she's just the best model, and as soon as you do that, you want to bring a 6-pack of Varanguard with her, so we have them in her regiment as well. And Abraxia is my general today. Then I have 2 other regiments. One is a Dark Oath Chieftain, and in her regiment is just 3 units of 10 Dark Oath Marauders. Then my last regiment is a Chaos Sorcerer Lord. It includes a reinforced unit of Chaos Warriors, and then a just standard MSU 5-man unit of the Chaos Fell Riders. And I am playing in the Dark Oath Horde, so I'll potentially be able to recycle those units of Marauders throughout the game, hopefully, fingers crossed. But then I was the attacker here today, so I do get to choose my seasonal Honor Guard ability first, and we are going to give priority target to the Varanguard, make them extra deadly. And then because I get to choose the second one, I will just go for anti-cavalry with my Chaos Warriors.
Okay, with my list, it's pretty obvious. Jordan would foresee that I was sort of projecting that I'm going to do Prize Beast on the Leviadon. I don't really have many other good options for in this list, but this is what I plan to do, so I'm going to stick to the plan. So hopefully keep the Leviadon away from the Varanguard. And yeah, so the Varanguard have 2 juicy targets to go after now. So,
but with that, Mike, you did outdraw me here, being just 2 drops to my 3, so you have choice of who goes first.
I think sitting back and just seeing how far ahead you want to go with yours and then react to that. So I'm going to give you the first turn.
All right, so let's jump into Slaves to Darkness, turn 1. All right, so into turn 1, and I'm going to go for Take the Fight for my battle tactic this round. Then I don't have a lot to do, but my Chaos Sorcerer Lord is going to try to cast the Incarnate out. And we'll fail that on a 6. So he will then just try and give out a ward to my Chaos Warriors. And failed that on a 1, so not the hottest start for him. And then as far as March go or pledging, I'm going to pledge one of my units of Marauders to Khorne, just for fun. But that is going to be it for my hero phase.
All right, no wizards here, so.
All right, let's get into movement. And I'm going to start by using at the double with my Marauders on this side, just to make them auto-run 6. And that's going to be it for my movement phase.
Okay, I think I'll spend 1 to redeploy the turtle for 2.
And that's going to wrap up the turn because I have no shooting, I'm not doing any charging, so we will end the turn there, scoring hold 1 and hold 2 for 4 points. And I do complete my battle tactic for another 4, bringing me up to 8.
Sounds good. Let's answer back and see what we can do.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, nothing really to talk about yet, but we can just jump into Idoneth Deepkin, turn 1.
Okay, start of my turn, I'm going to try to do a Do Not Waver, which means I have to fight with 2 units and have nothing slain. I have no magic phase, I have nothing to rally, so it's up to you if you'd like to...
Yeah, I will just spend a command point with my Chaos Sorcerer Lord and try and cast the Incarnate. We fail.
Alrighty, on to movement. Okay, and in my movement phase, I brought in the unit of 6 Morsar Guard. I brought in a Shark over on the corner, an Alpax, just to help secure my Do Not Waver in case I get a nasty redeploy or fail some charges for some whatever reason. So yeah, so that's the end of my movement phase. Is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, I am actually going to redeploy here, but I'll go with the Chaos Marauders on the right flank, and they're going to move 5 inches.
Okay, so we're going to start off shooting with the Alapex on my left. We're going to shoot the Marauders. 1 wound at rend 1 because of the weapon.
I'll have a 6-up save, but it goes through.
3 damage.
You'll kill 3 Marauders.
And with that, my turtle can't see anything where it's at, so we're going to go on to the charge phase. And we're going to start with the Eidolon of the Storm. You'll get a 8. Alrighty, so we'll get in the fight phase. And I'm going to start with the Eidolon of the Storm, and we're going to spend a CP for all-out attack.
And I might as well spend mine on all-out defense.
5 wounds at rend 2.
4 to 6s. 4 go through.
3 damage each.
So you will kill 4 of them there.
So I'll pile in with my Schlain and fight. Okay, I'm only going to be able to fight with 2, so I'll strike with them as well. 1 wound, rend 1.
Goes through.
D3 damage for 2.
We're still alive.
Now from the Riders, because they're still within 12 of the storm, they get +1 to wounds, so this will be 3s and 3s as well.
A valiant effort, but 1 does go through to deal the last damage and kill my Fell Rider.
Okay, well that's it for my turn. Like Jordan, I was able to hold 1, hold 2, and I was able to secure my battle tactics, so I got to meet with an 8-point turn.
Yeah, brings us tied going into round 2, and I am pretty central and you're skirting the edges right now as I guess, on brand for these armies, but we can go into priority now for round 2.
Sounds good.
That's a 4.
I got a 5. I already told you before, I was planning for a double, and I'm going to take it. So
Sounds good.
I won't get a battle tactic, but I think just being aggressive at this point is the way to go.
All right, let's jump into Idoneth Deepkin, turn 2.
Alrighty, now for my turn 2, I don't get a battle tactic because I took a double, and with not enough points of a spread to be behind. But that does make Jordan the underdog until the tide turns. Speaking of tide, it is flood tide, so I get to do my run and charge this phase, or this whole turn. I don't have a hero phase as far as I don't have any wizards, so is there any counter spells you'd like to do?
Yeah, we will spend a command point for magical intervention with the Sorcerer Lord again and try and bring out the Incarnate. But we fail.
Okay, so we're into my movement phase. All right, at the end of my movement phase, I brought in one more Alapex on the far corner there just to try to get a line of sight and a shot on Abraxia. Also threaten that back corner just a little bit now that I have room to go in there.
And I will spend a command point here to redeploy Abraxia, and she'll go 4 inches.
All right, on to shooting phase.
The Alapex on the western flank is first to launch its harpoons, and it takes out a Chaos Warrior. The other Alapex then brings down 3 Marauders, while the Leviadon targets Abraxia and deals 3 damage.
That is it for my shooting. On to charges. Okay, after the Leviadon charges, he's going to do his Rampage for Crushing Charge, and I'll do 2 mortal wounds to the Marauders.
+1 to their 10,
So
right?
3, sorry, yes. 3 to the Marauders. And that's it for Rampages, because the Storm is on... Oh no, I get to do combat abilities with the Eidolon Guard. So I'll roll my Biovoltaic Barriers first. I'll do the Eidolon Guard with the Marauders first. So they are -1 to attack. And I'll do the ones with the Varanguard. They are not -1 to attack. That's pretty big. And now I'll do the Morsar Guard. They're Biovoltaic Blast. So rolling those. So we've got 2 mortal wounds.
All right, we take 2. Then for my combat phase activation or abilities, I am going to use the fights twice with the Varanguard, and notably because Abraxia is nearby, she is going to remove the fight last for the second activation.
Alrighty, so we're getting into combat phase. So I'm going to start off combat with the Morsar Guard into the Varanguard, and I'm going to spend a CP for all-out attack because I want those spears to connect. And notably, my Eidolon of the Storm is nearby, so he'll be able to give them +1 to wound as well.
Nice, and I will spend my command point for all-out defense, hoping to keep some alive, and -1 to hit as well because of the woods.
All right, so on the spears, we're looking for 3s and 3s. So 2 at rend 1.
Back to 3s, 1 goes through.
Okay, 2 damage there. All right, so now the eels are going to go. Alrighty, we're looking at 7 at rend 1.
3 do go through for D3 each.
Okay, looking at 5.
5, so 7 damage in total. I can't complain about that. And then I will activate next with the Varanguard and put as many attacks as I can into the turtle.
The turtle will all defense.
It is my priority target, so I will be +1 to hit and wound. So we'll get 6 mortal wounds through and another 6 attacks at rend 2.
So looking for 4s. Say 4.
So 10 damage in total.
Okay, 5 aboard now. And I will save 3 of those and take 7.
The turtle then retaliates immediately, and it brings down 3 more Varanguard. As the battle continues to rage, the combat is highlighted by the Dark Oath chieftain surviving the attack from the Eidolon Guard and dealing 6 damage in return. The Marauders on the eastern flank fall to the Idoneth cavalry, and then the forces of chaos deal 5 more damage to the turtle.
Alrighty, at the end of the combat phase, at the start of the end of the turn phase, I'm going to spend a CP to power through, and I'm going to target the Varanguard with the turtle for 1 mortal.
Which actually is enough to finish one off.
Alrighty, that rounds up my turn. I made a small little play for that corner objective, and I just didn't get it.
Yeah, thanks to the Dark Oath War Queen. surviving, taking no damage, and then killing an eel and a half.
Yep, that was both those things had to happen. He had to survive, and then he had to kill one, which he did.
Yep.
And it worked out. So I feel pretty good. I have you surrounded as it were, and I mean I do have to weather some retaliation now, but I get to score one, hold two for a 4-point turn, and yeah, we're going into Slaves of Darkness.
Yes, sir. Jumping into Slaves, turn 2. All right, for my battle tactic here, I'm going to go for Slay the Entourage and try and take down your turtle. And then the Sorcerer Lord is going to try and give a 5-up ward save to the Chaos Warriors, and we get that off this turn. Then I'm also going to pledge them to Khorne, so they get an extra attack. And lastly, the Sorcerer Lord is going to try and cast Demonic Speed on them. And we'll fail that on a 5. And that'll be it for my hero phase. And then in my movement phase, I'm also going to try and bring back half of the unit of Dark Oath Fell Riders on a 4+. We get it. And that's it for my movement. So into charges, because I'm not doing any shooting either, I'm going to start off by charging Abraxia. And she'll make it in with an 8. Then I'm going to charge the Chaos Marauders. And fail that with a 5, so we will spend a command point to reroll it. Into a 4, that's going to fail if they're not getting in. And then at the start of combat, Abraxia is going to see what her weapon does. We roll a 2, so there's no effect. And then I'm also going to fight twice with my Dark Oath Chieftain this turn.
I do have the biovoltaic barriers for the Ishlan Guard, and they're actually going to target Abraxia with it on a 3-up. They do.
Okay, so -1 attack. And we will start off the fighting actually with the single Varanguard and put all his attacks into the turtle.
Okay, the turtle will all defense.
So starting with the sword, 2 hits, 1 wound at Ren 2.
Saved it.
And the mount will completely miss.
All right, we're going to go with the turtle. He's prized beast, so he's not bracketed, and we're going to put everything into Abraxia.
And she'll use all of defense.
Sounds good. 3 crit mortals, 1 at Ren 2.
Save that one.
Okay, but 9 mortals.
We will have our ward saves and save 4 of them. So we take 5.
And now the companion's on top.
And we suffer a damage. And then I'm going to fight with my Dark Oath Chieftain with her first activation and put all her attacks into the turtle. And we'll get 4 mortals and 1 at Ren 1.
So 3 up to save the attack. I pass it, and then you have 4 saves to make on the ward. I failed them all but 1, so he has 1 wound left.
All right, well, the Chieftain does get to activate a unit of Dark Oath, and it has to be infantry, but I have the Marauders right there. So they'll get to activate, and they do get an extra attack from that ability, as well as having an extra attack from Khorne right now. And because they rolled a 10-inch charge, they will be Rend 1 because they completed their oath. So they'll get 5 through at Rend 1.
Looking for 5s. Saving 3, and I'm not wholly within 6 of the turtle, so I'll take 2 more.
The lone surviving Ishlan fights next and deals 2 more damage to Abraxia.
So she is bracketed now. And I did actually forget about Abraxia's ability to reflect mortal wounds when she takes damage. So the turtle would actually potentially have died at this point. So we're going to roll those the damage reflection. So 4 ups. It would only take 1 wound back.
I get a 5-up ward against that, and I make it.
Okay, so it wouldn't have mattered here at all.
Yeah.
And I will just activate next with Abraxia, putting all the attacks into the turtle.
Sounds good.
And she does have 1 less attack because of your eels, so just 4 attacks with her spear. And that'll be 2 at Ren 2.
Looking for 4s. Failed them both.
3 damage each.
Okay, I'll get 5 ups. Failed more than I needed, so he is gone.
Lastly, the Morsar Guard pile in and attack, but fail to finish off the last Varanguard.
And that is all of the normal activations, but because I did fight twice with the War Queen, she'll get her second activation and try and finish off this eel. So 4s and 3s. That's gonna be 4 mortal wounds.
All right, that'll get him.
All right, that'll wrap up Slaves to Darkness turn 2. And although I would have loved to get my warriors into combat, I can't complain too much about how things turned out, because we did take down the turtle to get the battle tactic and get rid of that big nuisance and the 5-up ward. And we also were able to run fast enough to take one of your objectives, which means I will get hold 1, 2, and more, as well as the tactic for the full 10 points. Now, there are some things that could have gone better. Obviously, Abraxia took a lot of damage. That was a bit of a risk. But where that was disappointing, the War Queen more than made up for, doing like 8, 10 plus damage this turn. Or sorry, not the War Queen, it is a Chieftain. Popping off with the crit mortals. She was 1 wound away from taking down the turtle and fulfilling her oath. But I can't be too disappointed in her. But Mike, that'll lead us into priority for round 3.
Yep.
That's a 4.
That's a 3. It's your choice.
Okay, well, you gave up the tactic already, and I have a little bit of a lead, so we of course have to take the turn. And yeah, let's jump into it. Going into Slaves to Darkness, turn 3. All right, so into my hero phase with taking a double turn. We are not going to get to do a battle tactic. So right into the action, I am going to try and cast Stripes Last onto your eels for my Sorcerer Lord. And I get that off with an 8. Then I am going to try and give the 5-up ward save to the Chaos Warriors again, which we get on a 3+, so they'll get that ward back. And then I'm going to mark this unit of Marauders for Khorne as well. And lastly, I will spend a command point here to rally Abraxia. And she'll heal just 1 wound. And that's going to be it for my hero phase. Into movement. And that'll be it for my movement.
Okay, I will spend 1 CP to try and get my Slaying Guard over onto that far objective. And I get a 4.
Then I have no shooting to do, so I will just jump into charges. We'll go with the Chaos Warriors first. For a 4, that's enough. And that's going to be all my charges.
Okay, the Eidolon of the Storm just cannot sit by, drenched with hate. He's going to spend 2, and we're going to try to countercharge with him. And he'll get a 10.
And then at the start of combat, we do have Abraxia's sword to see what it does, which is again 2 for no effect. And yeah, you will get to do your strike first activations, which thankfully doesn't include the eels.
It does not. So first things first, I think the shark has to put everything into Abraxia.
And she will go for all-out defense.
And 1 wound at Ren 2.
It goes through for 2.
And the riders will be 3s and 4s. 2 wounds at Ren 1.
Both go through, so she'll take 4, but ward 1 of them, up to 13.
Okay, so my Eidolon aspect of the Storm is going to split his attacks. Nothing's ever gone wrong doing this. He's going to put half of his attacks exactly into each of the heroes he's engaged with. So we're going to start off into the Sorcerer Lord.
And the Sorcerer Lord just barely goes down.
And now into the Dark Oath Chieftain. Will wound at Ren 2.
Goes through.
3 damage.
All right, then let's go with the Chaos Warriors next, putting all the attacks they can into your eels, and I will notably be getting a 3rd attack for being Khorne and a 4th attack because I'm going to leave 1 touching the objective. And I am going to go for all-out attack.
Sounds good. I will definitely all defense this one.
So we've got 69 attacks from the Warriors on 2s and 3s. And they'll land 43 of their attacks at Ren 1.
Okay, so back to 4s, because all defense. Only 2 wounds overkilled.
Well, we take him out.
Take him out.
And then Abraxia is going to attack the shark and try and take it down. She'll just get 1 attack through at Ren 2, 3 damage there, and then the mount, which will get 1 through at Ren 1 for 2 damage.
Okay, 5s. Failed that one.
So 5 damage in total from Abraxia.
Got 3 left.
And we'll see if the Marauders can finish it off. That's going to be 6 at Ren 1.
All right, looking for 5s. You got him. Takes 4.
And then the Chieftain is going to get to attack into the Eidolon. And because I don't get the crit effect, I'll just get 4 attacks through at rend 1.
So looking for 4s, save 1.
So 6 damage.
Take my word save. Saving 3, taking 3. So at the end of the turn, I'm going to do power through with my Eidolon of the Storm. We're going to target the Dark Oath Chieftain. Going to do 1 mortal wound.
She's still alive. And that will wrap up Slaves to Darkness turn 3, which was pretty good for killing, but not so great for story, and opposite of last turn. Because here, you actually made 2 sweet plays to deny tactics. One with the redeploy over here, and the other one with a charge, and you didn't need to power through, but the charge alone took you the objective, counter charge, which were both great plays. And in hindsight, I for sure could have actually gone for this objective by marking this unit Tzeentch and teleporting them over there. But I just didn't think I needed it, and I wanted to give you less things to go in and kill, because you could definitely go kill Marauders. So that is going to cost me 2 points, and I will just get hold 1 and hold 2 here for 4, obviously without having been able to do a battle tactic. I was actually hoping that the Marauders were going to leave the shark alive so Abraxia could power through off of it and get back onto this objective, but I mean, I can't really complain. They are ferocious this game, so the Marauders have been doing well. But otherwise, the big exciting moment in this turn felt like the Chaos Warriors getting 69 attacks through, or 69 attacks into the Eels. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and then I wiped them out. So +2 attacks is pretty good. And when you're on 2s and 3s with crit auto wounds, so it was not bad at all. But that will wrap up the turn for Slaves, and we can jump into Idoneth Deepkin, turn 3.
All right, bottom of turn 3, I think I'm going to go for Slay the Entourage. Abraxia is limping around on 1 wound. My Eidolon is right there, poised to strike, so we're going to go for that. With that being said, I'm going to keep my CP. I'm not going to rally anything, so if there's something you want to do in the hero phase, feel free.
I will spend that last command point actually to rally Abraxia, but she heals just 1 wound.
All right, on to the movement phase. Alrighty, Lotan's back. Lotan's on the table, our fabulous, crabulous Lotan. Yeah, we're not going to do any shooting this round, so I guess we'll get right into the charge phase. Eidolon of the Storm. So we're going to go with 11. Okay, no counter charges there, so I'll do my Rampage. It doesn't matter because I'm fighting first anyways.
Then I will get to see Abraxia's weapon if it gets pumped up. It will finally get +1 damage.
Okay.
Then I will try to reduce your attacks by 1 with Abraxia's Rampage, which I fail.
We got 2 at rend 2.
3s to 5s. They both go through, and Abraxia goes down.
6 damage, yep. At the end of my turn, I got a 10-point turn.
Nice.
I hold both of your corner objectives. I hold my home objective and this one here, so I have 4. I got my battle tactic of killing Abraxia for Slay the Entourage. And yeah, I feel pretty good.
Yeah, that does bring us tied going into round 4, so we can go into priority.
All right.
That's a 5.
I got a 6. I won priority, but I think at this point I can't afford to drop 4 points for a tactic. And I have a couple of ones I can still do for turn 4 and 5. So I'm actually going to give away the turn here and hope I'm not shooting myself in the foot.
All right, then let's jump into Slaves to Darkness, turn 4. All right, so for my battle tactic this round, I'm going to go for Seize the Center. And then because my Sorcerer Lord is dead, I have nothing to do in the hero phase. Though I am going to pledge my 3 Marauder Horsemen to Tzeentch, so they get a little teleport.
Well, I'm going to choose to rally my Eidolon. I'll spend a CP for that. And I'll see if I can heal him up. And he heals 1 wound.
And we will jump into movement. And I'm going to start off by running my Marauder Horsemen for 2, so they're going 14. And then they're going to do their tricky Tzeentch ability to teleport. And they get to pick a point within 6 inches and come in wholly stitched at that point. And then I am going to try and bring back half of one of my units of Marauders with the Chieftain and get that on a 4-up. And that's going to be it for my movement. And I'm gonna have no shooting, no charges, so no more action on my turn. Pretty much the goal here was just to spread out as much as possible to take objectives and store points, deny points as well. I don't have much power on the board anymore. You've got your Eidolon, I've got the warriors, but they're slow and in one spot, and I'd rather block off with them than try and send them into the corner. So again, we're just using our advantage of units and bodies to spread out across the board and give you a lot of places to have to think about trying to deal with. So with that, we do claim enough objectives to take 1, 2, and more for 6 points, and we complete the battle tactic of seize the center for the full 10. And Mike, I think that was the best I could do. So we can jump into Idoneth Deepkin, turn 4.
Sounds good, let's go. Okay, at the start of my turn, I'm going to take the battle tactic for Slay the Tyrant. I'm going to just have to kill a hero at the end of the turn. And I will spend a CP to rally my Eidolon as well. And I'm going to heal 1 more. That's it for my hero phase. Anything you want to do?
Yes, I will also rally because I got all my CP still. So on the Chieftain, she will also rally and heal 1 wound.
Alrighty, moving. And that's it for movement.
I will spend a command point to redeploy the Chieftain. Do you want to roll this for me, honey? A 3, going into the woods.
Alrighty, on to shooting. The Shark's going to shoot your Marauder Horseman. 2 shots, 3s and 2s. 1 hit. No wounds. So we're going to charge. We're going to try to charge the Eidolon of the Storm over there. He gets a 7, which is enough.
And because it looks like you're having so much fun with all these charges, we will spend our last 2 CP for a counter charge. And it's either an 8 with the Marauders or a 9 with the Warriors. So we're going to go with the Warriors, looking for a 9. Nah, we fail.
Okay, I think I have no choice but to go with Lotan first. But actually, I have some rampages to do. So I'm going to try on a 3+ to make the War Queen fight last.
You mean the Chieftain?
The Chieftain fights last. And then we can do -1 attack on these guys. We don't get it. Cool. Yeah, Lotan's ready to party, so we're going to start with Lotan. And I'm spending a CP for all-out attack, so his octopus can go ham. So we're looking at 2 at Rend 1.
Which both go through, which is not quite enough to take the objective.
He tried.
The Dark Oath Fell Riders then attack the Ishlain Guard and bring 1 down, and only lose 1 Fell Rider from the retaliation. Next, the Eidolon attacks and takes down the Dark Oath Chieftain, while the Marauders deal 2 wounds to Lotan.
So at the end of the turn, I'm going to do power through with the Ishlain Guard. I'll spend a CP, and I need to get a 2 up on here in order to take that objective, which I get a 3.
All right, so you kill a Fell Rider, and yeah, you take it back.
Okay, so at the end of my turn, I take 1 objective back, but I need to take 2 back. So I do not hold more, but I do hold 1, and I hold 2. And I also achieve my battle tactic of killing a hero in the woods there. So I am going to score 8 points this turn, and yeah, feeling pretty good.
Yeah, very solid story points, and where I was spread out on a lot of the objectives, you've obviously taken a number of them back. So it does give us a slight lead heading into round 5 priority, though.
Alrighty, good luck.
Good luck. That's a 4.
And that's a 6.
Nice.
And again, I can't afford to drop a tactic. I need to try and score 8 or 10 on my next turn. So yeah, I have no choice. I definitely have to give away the turn again and just see if I can react and try and outscore you on the final turn. So yeah, the Slaves to Darkness, turn 5.
Yes, sir. All right, in the hero phase, my battle tactic is going to be take their land, and I'm going to choose this Wildwood over here. Then I'm going to finally pledge my single Varanguard who has survived this game, and he's going to be marked toward as well. And then I am going to spend a command point to rally my Chaos Warriors, and we will bring 1 back. And then we will jump into movement. I am going to retreat my Fell Rider, and he only suffers 1 mortal, so he's still alive. And then I am going to spend a command point for at the double with the Chaos Warriors and move them 11 inches now.
I'm going to cover fire with my Shark, and the closest one is the Fell Riders, so spend a CP. 2 shots, but we're hitting on 4s. 1 hit on 2s, 1 wound at rend 1.
And it goes through, so you will take out the Fell Rider.
Yep.
And then we can get into charges, which is just the Varanguard. He'll get in. And that's all I have for charges.
Okay, I'm going to spend 2 CP, and I'm going to charge the Eidolon of the Storm, and see what we get. We get a 12.
And into combat, I am going to start off with the Varanguard, who's a legend at this point for surviving so long on his own. And he's going to go for the all-out attack and put all of his attacks into Lotan.
Yeah, I got to do all defense on him.
And that'll be 4 at Rend 2.
All right, looking for 6s, because the all defense. I failed them all.
Okay, well that's 12 damage from one guy.
Yep. Alrighty, Eidolon of the Storm, we're going to go into the Marauders. 6 attacks with his spear. 3 at Rend 2.
Those go through.
9 damage.
You will take out the Marauders. And that will wrap up my turn here. I did everything I needed to do, which is take another objective and secure my battle tactic here. I threw some other units onto objectives or retreated out both on these two to just give you some problems to deal with. You ended up being able to deal with them on my turn, but I was hoping to leave them there so you're in the choice of going to one objective or not, but it at least forced you to use a bunch of your CP. And with taking this objective though, at least with the Marauders, I will store 1, 2, and more for the 6 points. And as we said, complete the battle tactic with help from the Varanguard, making sure Lotan, who's worth 5, was not sticking around.
And I think at this point we can kind of talk it out. I have a couple things I need to do to get a 10-point turn as well. Between my Shark and my Eels, I have to try and take out those Marauders, which could be, which is probably doable. And then I can take their land as well, I imagine. The Eidolon can probably take that one.
Yep, yeah, I think it really just comes down to probably you getting into combat to kill enough Marauders.
Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, so we'll make our move 3 inches away, over here. In the shooting phase, we're going to shoot the Shark into the Marauders. 2 shots, 3s and 4s, or 3s and 2s, sorry. They both miss. And that's it for shooting. So we're going to charge with the Shark. And we're going to get a 10.
He's in.
So the Shark's going to go. I get +1 to hit because of the Beastmasters. So this will be 3s and 2s. And 2 wounds at Rend 2.
That is going to be enough to kill 4 of them.
Yeah.
And that'll secure you this objective, which was all you were trying to do.
So that's the 10 points there. So I take the land over here, and then I was able to secure more objectives. So I do get 10 points at the end of the game, but a little bit too little, too late. But close game.
Yeah, it'll be a 42-40 final score here. As you said, very close in the dying moments. And I think a big one in this was actually, for me, the Dark Oath Horde sub-faction of being able to bring back Marauders, because I've brought back, 2 units? And those did a ton of scoring for me and were a nuisance. Both with the Fell Riders running around your battlefield and then these guys coming to take this objective.
Yeah, it definitely made it from a tie game to a win, right there. So
yeah, it is only a minor win though, because it's less than a 5-point difference. So very close game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think this list really has it. Idoneth is known for like the Steed of Tides and the casters and the tricks and the boats and Reavers and deep striking and then maybe strike and fade and all that stuff. But this was just straight up carnage. And it was
honest Warhammer.
Yeah, it was actually honest eels, right? Honest sharks and turtles and everything else. And I really like the Eidolon of the Storm. I think I never really got to use his retreat and charge ability, but man, he was just a terror back there. He just didn't stop. Everything he touched, basically he got a kill every round, and he was doing great. I'm sold on him. Yeah,
I basically just had to let him do his thing, and I know I couldn't really stop it. I never really got the opportunity. Maybe if I had have thrown the Warriors into him or something, but again, didn't have the chance.
Yeah, that was my hope. Knowing the Warriors were slow, they were in the middle. I was hoping you would pick a direction with them, and you did, and you picked one, so I just stayed away from it. So yeah. I really couldn't get away. I couldn't survive the bowling ball. All I could do was avoid it. So.
Yeah, and actually big here too. Obviously, what set up how close this game was, and obviously the tight battle was going all in on the Varanguard. was big if you didn't take them out, because they are, besides the warriors situationally, they are the big damage dealers in the list.
I had no choice. I mean, they were in the woods, they were all defense, they had everything going for them, but with the turtle actually did a lot of damage to them, did a lot of damage to Abraxia. The turtle really did help me pull through a lot of that extra damage, because a lot of stuff whiffed. My spear, the Morsar Guard didn't do what I thought they were going to do. The Eidolon ended up getting pulled out of combat because the turtle did so much damage. But I wanted to get the turtle's attacks in before he inevitably died. But I mean, at the end of the day, he really pulled through, and then maybe pulling him back was the way to go, and then trying to rally him up and survive another day. But I thought maybe just go in for a penny, in for a pound, and then just try to keep you fighting on that forest as long as possible, even though I didn't benefit from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just staying over there and grinding away. But when the warriors came in to help, that was a turn too late. But when they did, it was big. So.
Yep. Yeah, definitely a turning point. And yes, not the turn I wanted them in, but they did enough to, again, help just squeak things out and, claim this territory. And that's big because this region, which was the Veilgate Ruins, has a great buff associated with it for our playoffs, which is going to be a little bit of a translocation. So always good. But that will be it for us here today. Mike, it was a blast. Thank you so much for the game. Guys, we hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you are enjoying the campaign we have going on and having lots of fun with it as well. And if you want to catch all the action, be sure to join our channel membership. It also helps support the channel, which is amazing, and it's the only reason we're able to do this at all. So thank you guys so much. But no matter what, we look forward to seeing you again in another battle report.
See you, everyone.
As moonlight fades over the shattered archways of the Veilgate Ruins, it is Abraxia and her slaves to darkness who stand victorious. In a brutal and grinding clash, they held their lines and crushed wave after wave of Idoneth assault, claiming the ruined nexus for the forces of chaos. With this conquest, they seize the secrets buried beneath the stone, power that may grant them the ability to strike where the enemy least expects in the battles to come. But as this conflict draws to a close, we invite you to join us for the next chapter in the Season of War.